Hi, good evening, everybody. My name is Tim Sika. I'm here tonight on behalf of the San Francisco Film Critics Circle. Welcome to this advanced preview screening of 99 Homes. Before we watch the film, it's our distinct privilege tonight to introduce you to one of the lead ensemble cast members of the film. He made his Broadway debut in 2002 in a Tony-nominated turn as Biff Loman in the revival of Arthur Miller's Pulitzer Prize-winning classic drama Death of a Salesman, directed by Mike Nichols. His film credits include Never Let Me Go, Lions for Lambs, the Red Riding Trilogy, 1974, and Boy A, for which he earned the Best Actor BAFTA in 2008. Just recently, he completed work on Silence, Martin Scorsese's adaptation of Chisuku's Endu's novel set in the 17th century Japan and filmed in Taiwan. A BAFTA and Golden Globe nominee for his work in The Social Network. He has been a fixture on the big screen over the last few years as a result of his portrayal of Peter Parker / Spider-Man in the Amazing Spider-Man series. So please give it up with all you got for the star of 99 Homes, Mr. Andrew Garfield.
Thank you. What a lovely introduction. Thank you very much. It's nice to remember what I've done with my life. Something, like so one or two things.
You just had a birthday, right? Last Thursday?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, can we all sing? Let's all sing.
I think anniversaries call for something like a happy birthday song.
No, don't you dare. Don't you dare. I'm not even kidding. Don't you dare. We're here to watch a movie, not to sing. Thank you, though. Very sweet, but no thank you.
All right. I know, I hate it when they do that to me.
It's very sweet, though. Thank you.
This is a very intense and revved up, sort of emotionally turbocharged drama. Can you set it up for us and tell us what it's about and about the character you play?
Yeah, sure. Well, you're about to see it, so I don't know how much information you need, but it's a true story, really. Even though it's not literally based on any one person, it's a story that's still playing out even now in America, in the West, and in England. There is a strange thing happening where there's a lot of people with not a lot of resources because the resources are being hoarded by a very few people. And hopefully what this story does is it shows a little bit of the human sacrifice involved in that in a visceral way, not just as figures in a newspaper article, but the human cost of the system, the economic system that we find ourselves in right now.
When you read the script, were you surprised at all in terms of the content of what you were reading?
I was, yeah. I was heartbroken and kind of devastated by it, and because we don't want to really pay attention to this fact that this is happening in our society, because who are we if we're allowing this to happen? It raises a lot of really difficult questions for us to answer as individuals that actively or sometimes, mostly kind of allow our own participation in a system that is really fucked, for want of a better word, when no one is really being served in any case. So yeah, I was incredibly hurt and kind of devastated reading it, and you guys can feel however you want about it, but I really felt really deeply shifted by a visceral understanding of the human cost involved in what we're in.
Yeah, this notion of making money off of other people's hardships is to me anyway, it's just egregious, just the idea of it, the thought of it. And this movie really goes into that, as you said, in a very, very human way. I'm gonna embarrass you here and say that Laura Dern, who's in this movie opposite you, she plays your mom. She seems kind of young to play your mom, but actually, the family unit in this movie is kind of unconventional. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, thank you. And
then I'll embarrass you.
Okay, good. I can think about how you might be embarrassing me while I answer. I loved that element of it because it was unusual, and I loved this feeling that we tried to create of these three people: a mother, a son, and a son beneath him, and how it's not that simple. It's never that simple. Sometimes my son will be fathering me, and sometimes my mother will be my daughter. And what happens when, it felt like a kind of a particular American family dynamic that we don't often get to see in mainstream stories. So I thought that was a much more interesting way to, explore, what a family might go through in a specific way in this situation.
Laura Dern said of you and your performance in the movie, she said, Andrew is amazing, amazing. One of the most gifted actors I've ever worked with, and one who will never stop at anything that's not the truth. Are you sufficiently embarrassed here?
No, that's very sweet. I mean, it's bullshit, but it's very sweet.
Really? Why is it bullshit?
No. Let's not get. I pay a therapist to have these conversations. You don't need to. No. I can receive that. Me and Laura it was like meeting a long distance, like some past life family member when we got together and we started working on this. So, she's one of those rare people in my life that really knows me deeply and sees me. So she can't help but say nice things because we're somehow related. I don't know how. We'll figure it out. Do a blood test, but yeah, no, I can take it in because I feel the same way. She is a genius. She's a total genius, yeah. And we were just talking about Enlightened. I don't know if you guys have seen that TV show, but she co-created it, and she is just unbelievable, and it's so funny and dramatic, and so yeah. So she's probably my favorite actress living, even more than Meryl Streep. Meryl Streep needs to give some parts away because she's working far too much anyway.
There was a story recently. You mentioned Meryl Streep. Lily Tomlin was asked, I guess when she appeared in a movie with her, was Prairie Home Companion, and everybody kept asking her. The first question journalists asked out of their mouth was like, "What was it like working with Meryl Streep? That's like working with God." And she said she did this on the stage in San Francisco at a screening. She says, "Well, actually, she wasn't my first choice." Anyway, I thought that was a funny story. I don't want to belabor this point because this is a serious movie. Someone asked me, a friend asked me on the way here, she said, "Is it depressing?" And I said, "No, it's emotional, it's intense, but deep and difficult material like this, like Martin Scorsese's Silence coming up that you're going to be in. But as an actor, what do you do to safeguard yourself from keeping it too deep and difficult to the point where it causes you distress or harm?" And what I mean by that is you read about actresses who played Blanche Dubois on the stage, and they would say what an emotional and physical toil it took on them because the role was so intense. And your role in this movie is intense that way.
Oh, I mean, I like it. I like going there. There's always further to go. That's the great thing that will probably mean I can never quit, is that there's never an end point. You never get to the oil, or you do get to the oil, but then it's like, I know there's more oil down there. Maybe underneath that there'll be some gold. Maybe underneath that there'll be some diamonds, It's never ending. It's like Shakespeare figured it out. He knew that he couldn't write enough words to express what a human being feels. Like, the idea is the emotion always has to be bigger than the words. And I just love that. And what's his name? Thought he was Jim Morrison for a while. And, Ben Kingsley may still think he's Gandhi. But why not? Like, maybe he is Gandhi in some... I don't know. I think there's... For me, I just love it. I just love it. And I get to know more of myself. Sure. And get to be a more whole person if I go as deep as I possibly can. And especially into the painful, difficult places, like where Dennis goes.
The young actor that plays your son in this movie, you said something interesting in an interview. You said that he really wasn't acting, that he was so truthful. And you said something I thought was very interesting. You said it made you kind of be more aware of the shortcuts you would take as an actor, or the tricks or the patterns that you would develop that maybe were not doing your craft any good. Could you talk about that? The relationship on screen with you and Noah, I think is his name, right? Is amazing. And can you talk about that?
Sure, yeah, no, it's, kids are a great bullshit meter. They know when you're lying, and it's a beautiful and annoying thing. So I think his presence was the truth barometer for everyone that was around him, just because, he didn't care. He didn't want to do a good performance. He just wanted to go actually and play. He wanted to get the scene done and then go and play soccer. So it was all instinctive. And like whenever any of us had the instinct to give him a pointer or notes, it was like, oh no, we don't. His instinct is perfect. We just have to let him flow, let him be. So yeah, no, and also what's awesome is that he's so unattached to it. He hasn't got that kind of ambition to be a star. I think thank God he has parents that aren't pushy. They want him to be him, and I think that really comes across. You can feel he's just not acting. He's just present, and I think that is what good acting is.
You have some amazing scenes in this movie too with Michael Shannon, who is endlessly interesting to watch in everything that he does. Can you talk about working with him?
Yeah, of course, I'm sure everyone knows his work. He's just this kind of incredibly powerful presence, physically, emotionally, and he's just got this kind of weight and this kind of gravitas, and he's terrifying to be around. And
he's kind of terrifying to look at too.
Oh, wow! I'll let him know you said that. Yeah, he'll come and find you.
Well, I think he'll know what I mean.
No,
I'm sure he's gotten that before.
Yeah, I'm sure he may not. Yeah. But and he's just a consummate actor,
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen him on stage, but
never. No.
He's just this animal, and I feel just incredibly grateful that I got to go to work with all three of them, really. Yeah, and the non-actors. There's lots of non-actors in the film, and see if you can tell who's who, because the non-actors are the best actors in the film.
Anybody have any questions? Oh, okay, here we go.
I love your man bun.
My answer to that question is yes.
Is that for a part, or is that just
no?
a
This
fashion
is
statement?
pure foolishness. No,
Pure
foolishness. A silly idea that I'm following through on, and I don't regret it. And I do regret it, but I am going to claim I don't.
I know we're gonna. And I still have a couple of questions to ask you about 99 Homes.
I feel vulnerable alone up here, just so you know. I feel like I've been abandoned.
You just finished work on The Silence with Martin Scorsese. You play a Jesuit priest. It's a very famous novel. Can you talk a little bit about that while we have you here?
Yeah, sure. Martin Scorsese, he directed a film called Boxcar Bertha back in the 70s, maybe the late 60s. That's the only film I've seen of his. No, it's silly. It's silly. You kind of find yourself in a situation with people that you never would dream of being in a creative position with, and and with material that's so deep and so awesome. I get a bit tongue-tied about that, I guess, just because it's such a rare opportunity that an actor would get to act, let alone act with these kind of creative, brilliant people.
I've just been told that we're out of time.
Oh.
So
I know, right?
Real quickly, in summation here, I know the movie opens in the Bay Area October 2nd, September 25th in New York and L.A., but you want to sum up why you think people should come to see it, even though they're already here in the audience? They're being ready to watch.
Well, I think you should stay in your seats and watch the film, just because you're already here and you're probably comfortable. And thank you for coming, and I hope you get something out of it. And just enjoy and sit back and relax.
Thank Andrew
Thank
Garfield
you for having
coming
me.
on here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
That was fun and weird and nice. Thank you.